Hey, how's it going, guys? George Nix of Lakeshore Video here, and today we're just going to be checking out a little bit of the behind the scenes of a recent gig that we did in January. This was basically a Business Insider series that we did for a law firm in Chicago called Levenfeld Pearlstein, LP. Let's just jump right into it, and you guys can see all the ins and outs. So over here, I'm just going to play you the video just for a second so you can see like how it turned out. So you see Accounting Firm Insider series. It's basically just Business Insider.
All right, I'm Russell
thing.
Shapiro, and I'm interviewing Alan Colton today. Alan hardly needs an introduction. I'll say a few things. Top 25 thought leaders, I don't know how many years. CPA practice advisor. Most
so this shot
in
particular is very special, and I'm going to get into
decades,
that
I think.
later why, but you can see like it almost looks like the lights coming out of nowhere.
Accounting, CPA practice advisor, AAM's Hall of Fame.
The way how
the bottom line is Alan is
lights on them, but you don't see the lights.
To the accounting industry. He's also a friend.
All right, so let's go back here into the BTS behind the scenes folder. So you can see right here, I have a wide shot and a tight shot on each person. So basically this is like a 5-camera shoot. These two cameras are the Lumix S1 and the Lumix S5. And the S1 has a 50 millimeter lens, and the S5 has an 85 millimeter lens. I like to do that for my wide and tight shots. I just think those are nice looking focal lengths. I am powering everything with Sony NPF batteries. This is like a little battery sled that you can purchase that allows you to deliver power delivery power over USB-C. Power delivery is like a standard that essentially that's what you need in order to keep the Lumix cameras powered all day. Is a certain amount of power has to be coming out, and so that's PD power if you guys didn't know. So these little battery sleds that I can mount to the hot shoe allow me to deliver PD power. It'll power it all day until the NPF is dead, and then it'll switch over to the internal battery in the S1 and S5. So it's basically a way to hot swap batteries if you're going to be doing something that's longer form. And in this case, it was basically probably only about an hour, but you know, I wanted to have the cameras just like running the whole time, even when we're testing stuff. The cameras are probably on for like a couple hours, so I always just bring these NPF batteries. So moving on, we got the GH5S, and this is my wide shot. And if you notice, there are lights in this shot. And so we're going to kind of come back to that. Even the microphones are in this shot. And we're using Sennheiser 416 mics. We'll get to that a little more in a minute. But you can see in this shot, there's no plant here. And there's also giant lights in the background. And then over here, this is two more. These are Lumix S5s. And we have the, again, 50 millimeter on one of them, 85 millimeter on the other one. So all of them should look pretty similar because we have 3 S5s and then two other Lumix cameras that are going to match it pretty close. Like the S1, I think, has the exact same sensor as the S5, so that matches perfect. And then with the wide shot, even if the GH5S has a slightly different color scheme, it's very close, so I think it'll be fine. And I use the natural profile for everything. So here you can see kind of like the whole room now. So you can see like I got 2 giant lights in the background. Those are Godox VL300 lights, very bright lights. And then these are Raja 105, um, made by Phottix. That's the soft boxes. So if you want to get soft boxes like these, it's the Raja 105. Phottix does make slightly bigger ones as well. I think it's the 120. I'm looking at the box over here because I just bought a second one of these 105s just for this shoot. And these are all on C-stands. I think these are Neewer C-stands. That's the brand. And I like to have C-stands with wheels so I can wheel everything around. So like I can wheel the mics in after they sit down, move the lights around super easily. So yeah, these are Sennheiser 416 mics on there. And I just have one on each of them, and that's running over here to a Zoom F3 recorder. I love the Zoom F3 because it does 32-bit float, and as a one-man band, I don't have time to be messing around with levels and monitoring the audio. So with 32-bit float, you just hit record and don't even worry about it. As long as you got your mic close, you're gonna come up with really good results. And then up here is that's a Neewer lantern right there on the Godox SL60. So these are like, I don't know what they're called. It's like a Chinese lantern type light modifier. So everything's Bowen's mount. I love Bowen's mount for everything. And this is basically my, I guess you would say, fill light. These are my key lights, but they're also backlights. That's what's great about this is this key light. It's his key light over here on the right, but it's also the left guy's backlight. So I got a backlight and key light. And actually, I really would have put it more over here so I could get more of a backlight on him. But for these side shots, it was really tough. And it was mainly because they wanted this chessboard in the middle. So it kind of messed with everything as far as how I normally would do it. Normally I would have their chairs closer, a little bit facing towards each other a little bit more. And it would have made for just easier to get the lights in further over here. Like all the way on the other side of him. And then my close-up shots would be like to the other side of the light pole, essentially, because you can't go right here because you don't want to have to crop out the light from every single shot. But let me elaborate more on that in a second here. So I'm just gonna mute this. You can see like I put these two on one tripod, and that's a super clamp. I just use a super clamp with a little tripod head to put two cameras on one tripod. And you can see, just kind of walking around here, what all the different shots looked like. Cool. And then so I think at the wide shot I had the 12 to 60 millimeter lens, just because that's a really sharp lens. I really like that, the Leica. So I don't know what, I was probably at 35 millimeters. I typically stick to 35, 50, and 85 for like every shot. So 35 is wide, 50 is medium, 85 is close up, and that's pretty standard, I think. It's just what I like to do. So there's me. And I was monitoring the audio for the most part. I had like a little cable I was plugging into my headphones when I was sitting next to the recorder over there. There's the dog. And that was because while he was speaking, he was talking about the dog all of a sudden. So I pulled out my iPhone and just started filming some shots of the dog. And some of these shots actually I used one or two of these dog shots in the final video. So And the reason why it looks blown out over here for you guys is because this is HDR, so you gotta process that differently in Premiere. Speaking of which, let's go jump over into Premiere so you guys can see how I managed to get rid of those. How I managed to get rid of those lights. So, just letting it open here, because what I did is essentially I filmed. Let's just make that. There you go. You can see it. So essentially, I filmed the background. Let's see if I can find one. I filmed the background afterwards. Let me find. You know what? This one might work. Okay, so there you can see right here how there's no lights in the background, right? So, what I did in order to grab this particular shot, let me see if I can open up the nested sequence here. And so in the nested sequence, you can see the flowers, those were added in post. So I got a flower shot in the beginning, and he mentioned that he wanted his dog, because his dog was sitting down here in between them, and he's like, well, can we get the dog in the shot? And when the dog was sitting up, yeah, he was in the shot. But as soon as the dog laid down, I didn't realize he went behind the table, and this table is so heavy. I didn't really want to ask them to move it because it was like seriously ridiculously heavy. So basically, we moved the flowers, and then the dog wasn't in the shot, and I'm like, that space just looks so empty. So I went to a shot from earlier when this flower was still in the shot with the lights and everything, and I cut it out in Photoshop, and I just threw it in there. So it's a static, non-moving image, so it's not like, you know, plus nothing really overlaps it except for his legs a little bit, but these wide shots are relatively short anyways. But yeah, nobody can tell that I added that in post because I cut it out so well in Photoshop, which is pretty easy to do these days. Even got the shadow in there because I think right here is where the cut is, and you can almost see it, but I kind of blended it. But yeah, not bad. So let's peel back the next layer. So the next layer is right there. So this guy over here, I'm actually there's a few things I'm doing here. Let me go to the effect controls and go over to this part over here so you can see what I'm doing exactly. I have a mask, right? And so for this particular shot, he was really hard to cut out. So the guy over here on the left, I cut him out in After Effects. But then the guy over here on the right, he couldn't be cut out in After Effects very easily because his glasses right here kept screwing it up. So for some of the shots, I literally went frame by frame moving a mask. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. So you can see like right here, the mask. So for some of the shots, I'm going frame by frame, moving this mask around. Because it's only like a few seconds at a time, and I really only did it for the intro of the video. And we did several different edits. We chopped this up into a few different edits, and each edit, I introduced them. Let me zoom out here. See, I introduced them with their names down here. So I had to have basically one wide shot for each one of the different edits, and each edit was like a different topic that they talked about. We did the full interview with basically we have these little what does this have in common type stuff uh, for each section. But yeah, so because I had to have that, some of them are cut out in this way where I did the mask, and some of them I actually did get it to work with the with After Effects to do it how I cut out this guy on the left. So let's just remove that for now. See, and over here on the left, you can see I'm adding in essentially, I think I have a mask for it too. So I'm adding in essentially everything except for this guy. And within this shot, he is cut out from the background. So if we take away the background completely, you can see, and we can even add in our mask here, or take away our mask. So you can see here, this was its attempt at cutting him out, and it just didn't do a very good job. See how it's all moving around and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that would look terrible if we left it in, even with the background here, because the lighting's changing a little bit. So it's like you can see that happening. So we didn't want to do it that way. So that's why I added in this mask to take him out. And then we masked him back in with a shot from the original shot. So that's kind of how I did all this, and then we added in our flowers in the background. Some of the other ones we were actually able to cut them out in After Effects. Let me see if let me see, where is it at? I'm trying to find my sequences here. Maybe something like the current trends one. This might have actually been fully cut out. Let's go in here, and then oh yeah, here you can kind of really see how the flowers looked, and see, because this table right there will take that guy away, take this guy away. So the table is no longer lit up, but we do want the table lit up. The only thing we're really trying to add in here is this background right here to cut out our microphone and our light. So you can see even here, this is how I did the mask. Essentially, just this section is what I am replacing. And I'm replacing that with the background that I shot afterwards. And then I'm also replacing it with, well, I'm really only putting the background that I shot afterwards, but I'm cutting out each of these guys individually in After Effects and adding them over the top of that. So over the top of the mask that cut out this background section. So yeah, it looks pretty convincing. I think it really worked. So, because like if we shut off this, shut off the background, and then you shut off the mask, this is what the shot actually looked like. So when they saw it, they were blown away, because it's like those lights just kind of come out of nowhere, and they were like, it's kind of cool, because they were seriously like freaking out, like, oh my god, this looks so good, it looks like something I'd see on TV, this and that. So I mean, that's super cool. I love when like I do something that kind of blows the client's mind. That kind of stuff is just super rewarding, and it's super fun to do stuff like this. This was the first time I ever did this, actually. I saw it on like a reel or something on Instagram, how to do it. So I I was like, you know what? This is perfect because I don't do a ton of videos that have two people on camera at once. So I was like, yeah, let's just do it for this one because for some reason that reel happened to pop up right before this shoot. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to look really good. So, anyways, I just wanted to show you guys the behind the scenes of how that works. I could open After Effects. Let me see. After Effects. Let me show you real quick what After Effects does. It's going to be tough, but essentially you can just grab what tool is it? Oh, Roto Brush. This Roto Brush tool, you grab that and like it takes forever to render and everything. So I think I hold space. There we go. So you can see like right here on his glasses, it's like missing. It's screwing that up. So the glasses were always a pain. And honestly, even in the final video, there might have been like a little bit of this going on with his glasses, but those shots are so quick that nobody's going to notice. Your average viewer is not like pixel peeping like I'm doing right now, where they're like, oh, I'm going to zoom in and see if they did something funny with the glasses. You know what I mean? Like it's not noticeable in the final video. And I spent a ton of time, like hours, just cutting this out. It's something that I'm never going to do again with glasses. Anytime someone has glasses, I'm never going to try to cut them out again. That was just because it was my first time. I never really tried it before. And I just kind of, I had cut things out before, but I had never tried cutting out glasses before. I never thought about it, that it would be like really hard to do. So, yeah, that's kind of how we did this. You just paint on the thing with your roto brush tool, and it starts cutting them out. So here I could turn off the roto brush, I think. There we go. So you can see like there's the whole thing. We're gonna go fit, and then we grab our roto brush up here, and then I think I gotta double click on this, and then you just start painting around your object. Whatever you want to cut out. And it does a pretty good job with it, but you do have to go in and like refine it. Let it know, oh yeah, I want all the fingers, not just some of the fingers. Stuff like that. And then down here, oh, that's actually a wheel from my light. We'll just cut that out. There we go. Easy peasy. He's already cut out. But I think a lot of the time I was just going all the way with some of this like to the corner, and then maybe even adding the table end. That's not bad. And then you just hit spacebar, let it do its thing, and it'll see. It has trouble sometimes with certain things like the hands, and so I'd have to like go in and kind of go frame by frame with some of that. And it starts learning better the more you go, but for the most part, it's pretty good about it. Like it's pretty good with his head. And then you do like a refine edge tool, and you just go along the edge of his hair, and that'll like smooth it out over the hair a little better. So cool. Anyways, that's how I did this shoot, and the end result was pretty awesome. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll let you look at this one more time here.
All right, I'm Russell Shapiro, and I'm interviewing Alan Colton today. Alan hardly needs an introduction. I'll say a few things. top 25 thought leaders. I don't know how many years. CPA practice advisor, most influential in the accounting profession, accounting today. Again, decades, I think. Most recommended consultant, 18 years. Inside public accounting, CPA practice advisor, and AAM's Hall of Fame. The bottom line is Alan is the preeminent consulting to the accounting industry.
Yeah,
He's also a friend
looks
and
pretty darn
confidant of
good.
mine. Um,
Um,
and we've done this once before, and the idea is to help
so yeah, I think that's super cool how you can like cut out different sections and stitch them all together. And all the different programs these days are just getting better and better at doing this. I think you can do it even better in DaVinci Resolve, but I didn't have time to like mess around with it. I probably should have. Maybe would have saved some time because I heard DaVinci does it really good. But this is how I did it for this particular gig. So come back over here. Hope you guys enjoyed that. My name is George Nix. If you guys want to hire me to shoot a video for your company, let me know. You can email me at george@lakeshorevideo.com. You can check out my website, lakeshorevideo.com. And my phone number is on the website and all that stuff too. So until next time, this has been Lakeshore Video. I'm George Nix, and you guys take it easy.